This episode of Walt Disney World Today is sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVC by Resale is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club points. You can view the current DVC resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC point charts, all by going to www.dvcbuyresale.com, or you can call Chantel, who's the owner, at 1-800-844-4099.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, September 7th, 2007, and this is episode 306 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hochberg from MGMstudios.org. On the show today, we have the mayor of MousePlanet.com and first selectman of All Ears Net. It's Mike Scopa of MousePlanet.com and All Ears Net. Welcome, Mike.
Yin Yang.
That's it? That's it?
That's it. The Yin Yang.
Oh, Ellen's Energy Muppet Adventure.
Muppet Energy Adventure. And also back from his sabbatical at Old Key West, it's Mike Newell of Mouse Wolf Radio. Welcome, Mike.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
And joining us tonight again is Dave Marks, who's the co-author of the Passporter's Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Dave.
Hi there, guys.
And we also have his lovely wife, Jennifer Marks, who's also
lovely
co-author
wife.
to the
Hello.
And we should mention that Jennifer's also the programming guru behind mousefest.org. So we're
and also the creator of the Passporter concept in the first place, and co-author and designer and all that other good stuff.
Okay.
We have to live together after we sign off.
That's thick enough. Thank you.
Well, we brought Jennifer and Dave on to talk about MouseFest, and we're going to be there's a lot to MouseFest, and it's really hard to combine into one show. So this may be the first of many other shows. We'll recommend that anyone listening to this wants a lot of information on what's going on to visit www.mousefest.org, where you can get a lot of information on what's going on this year. This show, we're going to be focusing on some changes that are coming to MouseFest in 2007. Let's first start with the dates. Some people may be very new to MouseFest. And Dave, what are the dates for MouseFest this year?
Well, MouseFest comes in two sections. We have the cruise, which starts on Sunday, December 4th? Second.
Second, yep.
Yep. And that continues through Thursday. It's the 4-night cruise. And on Thursday, the 6th,
Yep.
then the land events commence Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I believe that's the 11th of December.
The 10th.
And there are even a few, well, whatever.
I was to say that those are the dates for this year, and there's a lot of new things that's going on this year at MouseFest. First of all, above everything else, there's an interesting offer that, Dave, you've been able to strike with the Swan and Dolphin Resorts at MouseFest this year.
Well, we were able to get a special room rate discount because we normally hold the Mega Mouse Meet as part of MouseFest at the Swan and Dolphin. And it's a nice thing to have because, as some of you might know, it's getting harder and harder to find a vacant room at Walt Disney World these days, and the Swan and Dolphin seem to have a nice little collection there. So the deal, and I have to read this to you more or less verbatim due to various things that I had to sign. But I'll just say that MouseFest has arranged for a special discounted rate at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Resort for MouseFest. Stay at the heart of MouseFest action within walking distance of Epcot, Disney MGM Studios, Disney's Boardwalk Entertainment District, Disney's Fantasia Gardens miniature golf courses, and Saturday's Mega Mouse Meet at Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin. Anyway, the rate, you can take advantage of this rate anytime from Tuesday, December 4th through Monday night, December 10th, going into checking out Tuesday, December 11th for $159 a night plus tax, of course. That's that 12.5% Florida and county lodging tax for a single or double standard room.
And you
wonderful deluxe resorts.
And you can book these through either directly, or you could also use your favorite travel agent. Like we have Mouse Fan Travel is one of our sponsors, as well as Small World Vacations. So you could contact them. What's the deadline for booking, Dave?
Actually, it's around November 12th, 2007. And if you want to do this, call special booking number for Swan and Dolphin. That's 800-227-1500. And once you're on that line, you press option 3 and tell the reservations agent that you're with MouseFest. Group
You know
code
what?
MOL06.
There you go. You know, Dave, that's a lot of work for a fancy man like myself. So
You mean they could just go to mousefest.org and read all about it?
Exactly. So no, but I do one step better. I just say, Annette, book that for me. Do it for me, please. So I have my travel agent take care of it. But yes, we'll link right to the information on MouseFest. So if you want to get the code, the phone number, all that information, you can get that over there. And we should mention that, I mean, besides, Dave being a nice guy and wanting to get everyone a great rate at the Swan and Dolphin, it's also if you go through this rate, you're also supporting really the Disney internet community as a whole, aren't you, Dave?
Well, yes, we didn't want to push that too hard, but the idea basically is that by booking all these rooms at MouseFest, in fact, you help MouseFest's bottom line by helping out that way. But that's really not important. It's a great deal, regardless. If you don't like the deal, book somewhere else. We're not twisting your arm, but it's a great deal.
Great. And also new this year is registration, more so than just submitting your name and making up some hotel name like Scopa Towers or where you're staying. Jennifer, you've really spearheaded the whole registration process. First, why don't we start with what the registration process is this year, because it's different from last year. So tell our listeners what it is exactly in 2007, what that means exactly when you say register.
Well, registration is happening this year because MouseFest is getting so expensive, and we're trying to find ways of covering, which ties in with the Swan and Dolphin rate that you mentioned earlier. So last year we just had people give us their information and we put it online. This year we're asking for that information, but we're giving you all sorts of cool things to go along with it. So we're doing personalized name tags and lanyards and pins, and we're mailing these things out in advance. Coupons, and there's an extra MouseFest hour at Mega Mouse Meet, which is an hour. You get in an hour earlier, and there's some free munchies, and there's a bunch of other extra things too. And the idea really here is not so much about the stuff, but about supporting MouseFest. It's not a lot of money, but it really, really is going to make a huge difference in our ability to afford it this year because we're getting so big.
We need a really, really big room to do this somehow.
Yeah. Yes, very big room. I think our room is twice the size as last year. Is that right, Dave?
Really?
It's more than twice the size, yeah.
More than twice the size, yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of space. Is it? I don't usually, when we go to these events, I don't usually start measuring square footage. So this is going to be bigger than, really, not only last year, this is also going to be bigger than the Magic Meets event that Fred had in Pennsylvania. Are we talking even greater than that kind of square footage?
It's a bit. I've seen that space empty, and it looks like you could play, football and not have to worry about whether the punt goes too high. It's just huge, tall ceilings, cavernous space. It's bigger than. I think it's bigger than the space Fred had.
So Jennifer, we covered registration and what it is and the perks. To register, if you're interested in registering, which I really recommend that anyone that's planning on attending the event does. I mean, like Jennifer said, it's a small fee, nothing major here. Mortgages are not needed, but unless you're Lou and you go all crazy with all your fancy little signs over there. But if you'd like to, why don't you tell our listeners how you can register?
You can register by going to mousefest.org, and there's a big red link at the top that says registration is now open. And if for some reason that's there, it's also on the left side. You'll find registration pretty easy. And one of the cool things is that when you fill out the form, you can see your name tag, and it shows you can decide what information you want on it. You can choose what information you want to appear online, and it will appear automatically online as soon as you're done. You don't have to wait for me to get around to adding you. And all your name tag and all your extra things are sent in advance so that when you arrive, you get off the plane, you can wear and you can hit the ground running at MouseFest. No hooking up with Dave to try to find a pocket guide anymore.
Sounds pretty cool. I think that's a very important point to make. One of the things I noticed this year, Dave, I'm not sure if the MouseFest, the new MouseFest attendees will take part of this. I hope they do, and that is your your chairman's kickoff meet, which is at 2 o'clock on Thursday, day one. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the idea came last year. Basically, so many people come to MouseFest now that there's just no way to carry all the pocket guides, the little program guides that we produce, into the park to give to people, and no way to carry all the buttons. So last year we started something at a Thursday afternoon to be able to hand them out at the TTC, where it's easy to get stuff there. You can cart it over from the parking lot, and it's not too bad. And it was really nice. We saw so many people, and it was such a nice social. I said, "Oh wow, why don't we just have a social? We're going to mail all this stuff out in registration this time because boy, there's a lot of stuff, even more stuff to carry this year. So we don't want to carry it, and mailing it gets it in your hands earlier. But now it's a chance just to get together with all the MouseFest people who are going to be around at that time, and just to say hi and get oriented. And there's a special event coming right before that called MouseFest 101 for people who are new to the MouseFest idea or just need a refresher course. And then right after we wrap it up, I think a certain Dr. Scopa is escorting the crowd over for Dole Whip somewhere nearby.
AKA the magical elixir.
That's right.
One of the interesting things, Dave, is a lot of people always ask us, I've heard a lot about MouseFest. I'm new to the whole concept this year. The kickoff meet is by far, I think, the best thing for a newcomer to really go to in order to get their feet wet. Is there kind of, if you could recommend a few steps to, kind of guidelines, if you will, for a new MouseFester to abide by for best practices?
Well, best practices is like any first-time visit to Disney World itself. You've got to decide what you really want to do. There are going to be over 50 events on land. There are going to be another probably 25 or 30 at sea if you happen to be on the Wonder during the cruise. And it's staggering. You can't do it all. You can't possibly do it all. So go through it first of all and figure out what you really want to do. After that, just remember we're all your friends. And you have a chance to meet friends from many, many different communities, people you've never met before, and finally have a chance to put a face to, or people that you never thought you'd ever have a chance to meet who are going to be there, and people who are members of 3-4 communities and more. And they'll all be there, and a meet is just a chance to meet. And that's always been that way, and we just try to find something really interesting and fun to do while we get together to socialize. So we'll be getting together at the Tomorrowland Terrace Noodle Station for the kickoff event. And, anybody who wants to get a snack can get a snack, and we'll just meet each other. At Dr. Scopa's event, you have a chance to pop for a Dole Whip. The question is whether you're going to get an all pineapple or a swirl or a chocolate swirl. But that's for you to work out. And there are and it's really a matter of finding the things that fit with your schedule if you're already going to be at Disney World anyway, or fit with the people that you want to hang out with. And don't do too much, because too much is just going to exhaust you anyway. Just pick and choose the best stuff and be willing to just shake people's hands and say hi, and you'll find out that most of us, at least most of the time, don't bite.
That's right, Davis. Go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say, I want to throw in my 2 cents. Last year I went to the Passporters Christmas Parade Mingle, and I had a lot of fun at that parade. It's on that Thursday night. I think it's the second showing of the parade, Dave, for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
That's right, Mike. Yep.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, because nothing's more fun than having a bunch of people together watching a parade and joking along and stuff. That was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to do that again this year.
Good.
And one thing that I think we've kind of grazed over a little bit, and I want to just mention it before we end, is that there's also a cruise portion to this, which we mentioned. Jennifer, do people on the cruise need to register as well?
Well, no one has to register, first of all,
okay.
but
Poor choice.
certainly supporting MouseFest, yes. it would be wonderful. You can, if you don't register, you can still sign up and get our cruise navigator and sign up for our contest. It's really similar to MouseFest. There's nothing required here, but it's supporting MouseFest. So, but the cruise is falling under the MouseFest umbrella. So, yes, that answers your question.
That's good to know because
that big beach umbrella, actually, on Castaway Cay.
Very nice. It's going to be the first time that Newell and I are going cruising for MouseFest, so we're eager. That was a personal question. We just wanted to know if we needed to do anything like that. So we're eagerly looking forward to that portion of it as well as the whole land portion. So it's important to know that there are two portions, and it's not like we don't want to treat the cruise portion like the stepson of MouseFest. It's really a whole
absolutely not
a whole different event on itself, and it's really a lot of fun. I read so much great stuff from Deb and from you Dave and Jennifer, and from everyone else who goes on, and they just have rave reviews about it. So you certainly want to consider it, and come visit us, me and Newell, on the ship somewhere.
Yeah, the cruise is wonderful. It's a totally different experience, much more relaxing and laid back, and lots of fun. I love it.
Right, you walk past the Promenade Lounge, you see 2 or 3 people wearing MouseFest ID, and you walk over to them and say hi, and you've got yourself a meet. Much easier in the parks in that regard.
Yeah.
A nice tall drink and some good companionship.
Well, for all the information on MouseFest, you'll be sure to want to visit mousefest.org, and for information on Dave and Jennifer's books and things that they do that the other, 8 months of the year when they're not planning MouseFest stuff. Although it's really less than, it's like, what is it? I mean, MouseFest must be like a year-long process really to plan it. So when they're not planning MouseFest, they do work on their own books, and you can find more information about that at passporter.com. Links to everything will be at the WDW Today show notes. Dave and Jennifer, thanks so much for coming on to talk to us.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thanks for having us.
And again, this episode has been sponsored by DVCBuyResale.com. DVC by Resale is a great place to buy or sell your Disney Vacation Club points. You can view their current DVC resales, get answers to frequently asked questions, and see the DVC point charts, all by going to www.dvcbuyresale.com, or email Chantel, who's the owner at info@dvcbuyresale.com, and tell her that Dave Mark said hi.
You betcha.
And that's it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at www.wdwtoday.com. You can also email us at questions@wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, Dave and Jennifer Marks, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.